Hello guys, welcome again to another episode of Pinoy in Australia. Today what we have is a Toyota Aurion. This is 2008 year model. So the issue of this vehicle is it has a faulty radiator guys. So as you can see guys, you can see the coolant there guys. So the radiator have cracks. So what we're going to do guys is we're going to replace with new one. So this is aftermarket radiator. My daughter purchased this part from eBay Australia. So we will put an aftermarket radiator on this one. So I already tested those aftermarkets from eBay. There is no issue on those parts because I also use this one, this aftermarket radiator on my Nissan X-Trail. So it's already been I think more than 5 years and still the radiator have no issue. So I will start stripping the front portion of the radiator guys, but before that I'm going to drain the coolant. Okay guys, I have partially removed the covers of this radiator, everything that blocking on the top, also on the one on the bottom. So when doing this job guys, this kind of job guys, on this particular vehicle, what you need to do first is you need to remove this is the bottom cover of the vehicle. You need to remove that one so you can have access with the drain plug underneath the vehicle. And then once you remove it, so the cover just simply secured by screw. Then you can see that's blue hose guys. That's the drain plug of this radiator. So that wing bolt guys, that's the plug for the radiator guys. This is the drain plug guys, that one. Then that one guys, that one. Then this is the hose. I'm draining the coolant right now guys. Then what I did is I jacked the vehicle so I have more room to access all those components guys. So the cover guys are secured with the screw bolt here guys and some clips. So removing the cover of this bottom cover of this vehicle is very simple guys, just 10mm bolts and some clips guys. Then once you remove those cover, you can access removing this lower radiator hose. This one guys, that's a lower radiator hose, and those hose guys here, that is that's the hose for the transmission. So another one there guys on the other end. So you need to remove them and put plug, or if you have some kind of hose pincher, pinch it so you will not lose the transmission oil. So after removing that one guys, so this cover guys, you need to remove this cover guys. So it's only secured by 4 bolts. So it's located in the top, one here, another one here, and another one here guys. So the same on the other side. Then once you remove those bolts, remove the wiring of the horn, this support bar also guys, this one, this is the locking mechanism of the hood guys. You need to remove it 1 bolt in the bottom, 3 bolts on the top. Then you need to remove all those wiring attached on this thing. There are some wiring harness attached here. You need to remove those clips so you can remove that thing. So you need also to remove this air inlet ducting, guys. So this one is placed there in the top and another one on the bottom, guys. So this one is attached. See this whole this one goes there, guys, in the bottom. Go there somewhere in the bottom, guys. So it's like that, guys. No, like this. It's attached like this, guys. So you just need to pull this somewhere. It's located somewhere there. Then right now what I did is I removed this. This is the clip that holding the radiator shroud. So there's around 3 of them. Around 3. So once you remove the tank, you can push it back and you can start removing all this clip here, guys. This is the clip of the wiring harness for the radiator one, the radiator fan, and you need to pull up this one, remove this one, the socket for the radiator fan module. So there's some kind of module here, guys. Here. So remove this one and remove this one, this clip too. Once you remove that one, you can pull the radiator shroud. Then once you remove the radiator shroud, remove this. This is the bolt that holding the condenser, guys. Condenser of the aircon. So there are 4 of them. Another 2. One in the left, the bottom, and another one on the right bottom. So that one, guys, that one. So the other one is over there. So that one, guys, that one. Okay, guys, I have pulled out the old radiator. So it was leaking there on the upper portion of the radiator, guys. So it was leaking there. So this is the new one, guys. As you can see, the new one is upgraded, guys. So on the new one, this is after the market. This rubber part of this one, guys, the rubber part, guys, is already removed. So this is polystyrene transmission oil cooler pipe. So this one is modified into a tube. So they remove this portion, guys. So right now, guys, I'm going to install these new parts, guys. So once you encounter this kind of problem, guys, replace immediately the radiator, because if not, guys, it will break the engine, guys. It will lead to overheating. So I suggest, once you see a sign of losing of coolant in the reservoir tank, you inspect that part of the radiator, because that is the part where usually it's leaking. This is what it looked like, guys, once you remove the radiator, guys. So this is the portion. Where the condenser is mounted on the radiator. So there's 4 screws. This one, another one here, and two at the bottom. So if we're going to the old radiator, so in the old radiator, guys, that's the one that holding the condenser. This one, another one here, another one in the bottom, another one here. So there are around four of nut where you need to put the condenser of the AC. And this one, guys, I pull out the radiator hose with the radiator, so I pull that one out. Okay. Yes, this one is a little bit hard to remove because of the design. That's why I removed it after I pull out the radiator. Okay, guys, the situation right now is I'm bleeding the cooling system, guys. So everything is put back on except for the cover on the top. So I'm evaluating the fan whether it's working on time. So right now it's working, guys. Both of them are working. So the two fans are both working, guys. So this one is also working, guys. Other one is also working, guys. So I'm bleeding the system to make sure that there is no airlock in the system. So let's evaluate the coolant temperature sensor. So right now is our temperature is somewhere in 94 degrees. So see there, guys, 95. So it's going up. So I'm also checking whether there's something wrong with the thermostat, guys. Thermostat bulb. If the system can maintain the proper temperature, it means that we don't have problem with the cooling system, because right now we can see the fan is turning on and turning off. So it means that the system is being controlled by the ECM. So the thermostat is reporting to the computer and saying that this is the temperature. Right now it's dropping down, guys, dropping down. So it means our fan is working right now, guys. So it dropped to 93. So I'm not sure whether it's the same with Nissan X-Trail. My Nissan X-Trail, once the fan work start cooling the radiator and the coolant inside the radiator, it will automatically shut down at 93 degrees. Then it turns on the fan at 98 degrees. So let's check whether this one is also the same. So right now it's 96. This width is 97. So 96. It dropped from 97. It dropped down to 96, 97, 96, 95. So it means the fan is working right now. It's cooling the system. So this one, guys, it turns on the fan at 97 degrees. Then it turned off the fan at 93 degrees, guys. See, 93. It will stop there. Then it will start the temperature to climb up again. So it's getting hot again. So it means that the fan turns on at 98 and 97, then it turns out of 93. So it's maintaining that temperature, guys. So it means there's nothing wrong with our thermostat bulb. Radiator fan is working. I seen it turn on and turn off multiple times, both fan, left hand and right hand fan. So our cooling system is working fine, and I think I'm sure the thermostat bulb is working, because it can maintain this temperature, guys. It can maintain that 98 degrees, 97 degrees. Say 97, or start dropping down again, guys. Then it will stop at to 93 degrees, 94. This thing, it's 94. It stopped at 94. It start at 94, then it climb. No, it goes to 93. Yeah, 93. Then I believe it will climb out again. Yeah, 94. So it stopped at 93. It climbed up to 97 degrees centigrade. So once more, guys, let's evaluate it until it reaches 97 degrees. Okay, 6. Then 97. Yeah, it's dropping down again. So I have no doubts, guys, that the cooling system is functioning properly, guys. Okay, 93. Then it will start to climb up to 94 degrees again once it reaches 93. That is the minimum temperature that this cooling system operating, guys. Okay, so everything is good. Okay, guys, let's put an ending on this video, guys. So my advice to you guys, if you do this kind of repair, guys, radiator replacing, my suggestion, guys, is to give more extra time to investigate what is the cause why the radiator failed. Just ask yourself and investigate, and also investigate the situation, whether the radiator failed because of parts failure of the radiator, because maybe because the radiator already reached its lifespan, guys, like the materials already brittle because of the age of the radiator, because most of the radiator right now are made of plastic, and those plastic become brittle as it gets old. Or you need to find out whether the vehicle experience overheating and it causes build-up of pressure inside the system, and whether the radiator is the weakest part of the cooling system, because sometimes cylinder head gasket fail during overheating. But if the radiator is really brittle, once it builds up pressure, it will break the plastic part of the radiator. So we need to ask the customer whether the vehicle experience overheating, and we need to find out also whether it has a previous history of radiator fan failure, radiator fan failure, coolant leak, or you need to find out whether the thermostat bulb failed. So those kind of stuff, guys. So we need to to spend a little bit of time investigating, guys, so there will be no back job, guys. And sometimes back job cause lots of more problem and more money, because sometimes, guys, the problem like for example replace it, and it is not the real problem. It's not really the root cause of the problem, and maybe there's a problem with the thermostat bulb, and once it overheat and you're the person who last fix the vehicle, the customer will blame everything to you, guys. So need put more time, guys, a little bit of time to investigate, so problem will be avoided in the future. So for those cars owners that doing DIY, do the same thing, guys. But if you cannot do it because of your knowledge a little bit limited in fixing cars, after replacing radiator, ask for your mechanic to do some kind of evaluation on your repair of the vehicle. If there's a little bit coolant leak, fix the leak immediately, guys, because coolant leak is not really good, guys, because once you lose the coolant and goes to the very low level, it will really cause overheating it, and it will break the engine, guys. Overheating is one of the enemy of the engine, guys. The engine don't like it. So like what I said, put more time or extra time to investigate what is the root of cause why the radiator fail. So in my case, guys, it's just the material of the radiator fail, because the vehicle is 2008 year model, guys, that one, and it's been very old vehicle. Not very old, but it's about time to replace the radiator. And my advice to you guys, don't repair it, guys, especially if automatic transmission, guys. Once the radiator fail, replace it, because if you just repair the leaking part on the top of the cylinder head because of the o-ring failure, because there is an o-ring in the top of the radiator. Sometimes, you know, guys, there is a transmission oil cooler in the bottom of the radiator, and if you don't replace it, sometimes there's already damage on the pipe inside the radiator, and that will cause a problem in the future, and it will cause the coolant to enter inside the transmission, guys. So there is a transmission oil cooler on most automatic transmission vehicle. So once it fails, replace it, guys. Don't try to repair it, because in some countries, guys, they do repair a radiator. They can repair that kind of problem once the top part of the radiator fails. Some countries, they can replace the plastic into some kind of copper materials, guys, and it really works, guys. But for me, if your engine is if your vehicle is automatic transmission, once fail, replace it, so in the future you're not going to have issue in your transmission, guys. Okay, guys, I'm ending this video, guys. So if you're not yet subscribed to our channel, guys, please press that subscribe button. Please press that notification bell, guys, so you will be notified every time I do a video. Please press that like button, guys. Okay, guys, see you in the next video. Paalam, goodbye. See you in the next video, guys. Watch out for the next video, guys.